Today, I want to talk about Navy ratings and finding out what that particular Navy rating, that job, actually entails. So we're going to jump into something called Navy Cool. So you're just going to type in Navy Cool in your web search, and it's going to bring up the DON, Department of the Navy Cool website. All right, so Navy Cool, it's credentialing opportunities online. This is something that you really want to make sure you take part in if you're active duty or even on the reserve side. So I'm going to show you what it is here. It has both the Navy and the Marine Corps because the Marines are part of the Navy. So we'll just click on the Navy side here. And there's a lot of information, but especially anyone that is currently looking to enlist in the Navy, but you're not really sure what type of job you want. There's something up here. You want to go to rating. And it's going to bring up all the different ratings, all the different jobs in the Navy. So, for instance, if you have no idea what the difference between, like someone asked me recently, what's the difference between an AT and an AE? Well, you're just going to highlight the AT. Next. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring up all the information. So jobs down here on the bottom, you can click on those. It's going to tell you exactly as an AT if you're working as a calibration tech. Okay, if you're working on the I level maintenance, O level, organizational there, working on test equipment, it's going to break it down for you. There's also something here called the rating information card. Now, this right here, especially if you're not sure what job you want in the Navy, you really want to look through all the different ratings and see what interests you. So, for instance, right here, it says what they do. And it's breaking it down for you. You scroll down further, it also tells you exactly what rating for the A school, where it's currently located, so where you'll be going to school, and approximately how many weeks. And it's approximately because some ratings take longer to actually form up the class, so you may be there longer than this. And it'll tell you in general work environment. It's another question I'm often asked is, difference between shore duty, being on a ship, things of that nature. It also tells you opportunities, approximately how many are currently serving. For instance, here's AT, approximately 7,000 men and women work in this field. And you're going to scroll down, see what type of college credits you can earn. So for instance, these are the credits that you can earn by going to school. The education that you will receive from the Navy. We'll go back here. Up on top, you'll see related credentials. And it breaks it down. What credentials you can earn. So if you do one contract and get out, or after you retire, how this can be applied to the civilian side. So credentials you can earn, along with over on the side here, utilizing your GI Bill. Along with which type of jobs once you leave the military. This is one that I also hear quite often, is what type of job can I look forward to with the experience that I gain from the Navy. Your bibs, your bibliographies here. Okay, so this here is very important because this is what you need to know to study. So for instance, ATOs on the bottom, ATI on the top. So for instance, your ATI, these are all the different instructions, books, manuals that you want to be utilizing for advancement. So these right here, I talked about this in a different video, your NAV EdTray courses. All these NAV EdTray courses utilize to study for your advancement exam, both active and reserves. And on the reserve side, these are worth retirement points. Only on the reserve side, not the active side. And then, for instance, I was asked about YN. So you have YN and YNS. The S is for subs. So, for instance, here, subs. Slightly different, you'll see, than the standard YN. Well, let's actually jump back to your ratings. Let's look at the YNs. So on the bottom here, your administrative assistant, supervisor, office manager. Let's look at that rating card. So for a yeoman on a sub, it breaks it down what they do. It also lets you know they go to A school for 7 weeks, Meridian, Mississippi. You're going to learn your basic skills as a yeoman. And then you'll go to your sub school, Groton, Connecticut, for 9 weeks. Let you know where your standard work environment is if you're on a sub. And just like all the other ratings, it has about college credits, your credentialing. But let's go back and look at your standard yeoman. Do you see? They just have the basic standard 7-week school. Approximately 6,400 men and women work currently in the YN rating. It also lets you know, as far as right down here in your qualification interests, people in this rating eligible for security clearances. Now, depending on where you work, you may need a top secret clearance. For instance, I know yeomen that work, for instance, at Southcom. They will need a top secret clearance compared to maybe a secret elsewhere. But it breaks it down, typing skills, things of that nature. So we can go back, and what else do we want to look for? All right, AO. For those of you that should be studying during this, basically a stand down for COVID-19. Doesn't matter if you're E1, E2, or if you are a second class that just put it on. Start studying now for first. Because look at all the different manuals that you have to study. And unless you have like a top secret, for instance, you'll notice IS. IS is not on here. All of your study material will be locked up in the SCIF or in your shop to where it cannot be easily accessible like the other ratings here. Someone asked me last night about IC. And this here is not OPSEC. Anybody can Google Navy Cool, get this information. So if you would want to get an idea ahead of time of what a rating is, not only from what they explain, but like, for instance, here, the different manuals. All these NAV EdTray courses here I've talked about in other videos. You can download. Just type in NAV EdTray and the number, and you can get the PDF file. Now, Amazon does sell some of these books for $30, all the way I've seen up to $80. Do not spend your money. These are free. All right. So other than rating, which is all the jobs here for the enlisted officers, you have something called a designator. And I was asked recently by someone interested in becoming a chaplain about information. All right, and you see here there's also warrant officers, which is an enlisted that becomes an officer, along with LDO. That's another type of enlisted to officer. But if you want to be a human resource officer, if you want to be, for instance, like a intel officer, work civilian side, especially like say you're a reservist, a nurse, you want to come in, be part of the nurse corps, all this information is right here for you. Let you know what they do. Once again, credentialing. That's the main purpose of Navy Cool. It is a credentialing website. But it does give you other information of any type of training you have in the Navy, how it can be applied on the civilian side. And you'll even see right up here, it says Navy Reservist. And it breaks down some information there for you. Let's go back here first to the rating. Somebody asked last night about MA and federal law enforcement. MA gives you right here a basic breakdown of what MA is. On the bottom, correction specialist, you can be independent duty, master at arms, investigator, so on and so forth. Look at the rating card. It tells you right here what they do. A School, San Antonio, Texas, approximately 9 weeks. And we're going to go right back to the top here. Related credentials. You can get credentialing for corrections. Quite a few individuals I know that were MAs have gotten out, worked corrections or standard law enforcement. But if you wanted to do like crime scene, you want to work in a standard jail. As you can see, as MA, they have 4 pages here. They have quite a bit of credentials compared to other ratings. Behavior consult of K-9. I know a lot of individuals, they want to work with K-9. So right here, attainability, very high. So break it all down, the agency to contact. This is a great program that I personally know not enough sailors take advantage of. So civilian job, you can be animal trainer, bailiff, correction officer, multiple pages, forensic detectives. I know quite a few that are actually local police detectives here in South Florida, especially in the Miami area. And although it may not break it down word for word, I know quite a few MAs, along with gunner's mates, FCs, all different ratings where the individual is going to federal law enforcement. Now, something that many individuals do not understand is the security clearance. That makes a big difference with getting certain jobs. So like FC, I know I was asked about recently, what is a difference between an FC and a gunner's mate? Now, like I said, if you guys have any of these questions, just look here. It'll tell you exactly what, for instance, an FC does, what their schooling is. So approximately 5,500 currently serving. So all the information you need is right here on this Navy Cool website. And like I said, definitely want to take advantage of this, utilize this. When you're in, to get your credentialing for when you eventually leave, regardless if that's one enlistment or if it's an entire career. If you have any questions about where's my school, how long is the school, what exactly does a Master at Arms do, or whichever rating, whether it be, like I said, FC or if you had, no idea maybe what a CM, what does a CM do? Okay, that's a CB, but construction mechanic, maybe that's something that interests you. And if it doesn't, just scroll through all the different CTs. Many individuals are not aware that there are this many different types of CTs and what exactly they do. So for instance, like CTR, collections, okay, CTI, interpretive, that's your language. So definitely want to check out Navy Cool. Like I said, currently serving, make sure you get your certifications. If you're not serving yet and you're not sure, let me go back and check out that AE, because like I said, someone asked the difference between the two. And you can do a side-by-side comparison. Once again, just like AT, AE has the I and the O, 2 different levels. And, you may not understand right now what that is. You just click on it. It will tell you. But once again, credentialing. It's got quite a few there, 3 pages. Related occupations outside. And many individuals, doesn't matter if it's an AE, if it's a AM, GM, torpedoman, all kinds of these ratings actually work. They have government-related jobs. Another good reason to get the credentialing. So you can see right here for related occupation, you have civilian, you have federal, MSC, Military Sea Lift Command. Those are the USNS ships. For instance, like the USNS Comfort and Mercy. They are MSC ships. Definitely want to take advantage of this website. So, Navy Cool, just Google it. You do not need a CAC reader. It is not any type of OPSEC. So definitely do your research before you go in to talk to your recruiter. If you have any other questions, feel free to hit me up. I'd be glad to help you guys. Until the next video, take care, be safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.